Hi, you guys. It's Acrylic Painting Monday. I'm looking at this going, ooh, I've got a white pen in my hand. What else could I do? Could I put a little dot here? Ooh, let's make that flower whiter. Did you know that Posca pens are the whitest white, whiter than your titaniums? So if you ever need to do a little white highlight on something, you can get a little Posca pen and do that. So we've had a viewer asking for, I don't know, about a couple of years, where's my bicycle? She said, where's my bicycle? So, hey, here's your bicycle. And we've done this a little bit larger, 11 by 14. And we're going to show you a trick about, how to, again, turn a very detailed kind of ordinary photograph into something more artistic. How to get your artistic flair back into your paintings. And
16.
It's what?
12 by 16.
I lied. It's 12 by 16. Okay, sorry. So one of the things that you're going to want when you're painting this is you're going to want to have artist tape for those straight lines. And I think I've got that somewhere here. Here. You want something like that. You always should have some of that in the studio. You don't want to use Scotch tape or masking tape or stuff. This is specifically designed for acrylic paint. And you want to be able, we're going to show you how to use the tape, how to get straight lines. And you, even if you're freehanding it in, we'll have traceables for the bicycle and all of this. We'll tell you more about that. And the other thing I want to mention is that when you're painting street scenes, cement's boring. And a lot of times you'll see something really neat and it's got this ugly street in front of it. If you make it a wet street, it makes the painting, it kind of makes the painting more coherent. It's really a pretty way to do it. And so I think you're going to enjoy the tricks and tips that we're going to give you in this video. And again, it's part of our street scene series of flower shops and so forth. We've got a lot of those. We did a lot of those in 2025. So you want to go back and look at some of the other ones that we've done. And this painting would certainly go with it, and even our Mediterranean ones. So looking back up here at the camera again, I want to welcome you to our premiere. Our mods are here and you're here, and we're going to be doing the chat. If you have a question, I know I say this every week, but put it in all caps. I'll be answering it in all caps. Your questions are important. Your live chat is fun. Let's have a party today. Let's celebrate this bicycle painting, because I know it's been asked for a long time, and I can't wait to see your painting when it's done. And you either can send it in for personal art coaching if you're a red or purple member of Acrylic Painting with Ginger Cook, or you can share it in our free Facebook club and get all kinds of kudos. Not just me telling you it's wonderful, but we got a couple thousand other people that are looking at your picture, and some of those are bound to say nice things. So it's a good way to feel good about painting and be inspired. And let's be inspired to have a great time tonight and fun. Okay. Okay, so we've got our 12 by 16 canvas, and here's our reference photo. Here's the inspiration photo. And here's a black and white of the painting, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then here's the traceable. You can get our traceables at gingercookondemand.com. They're $1.50. And this will be in you'll probably print this out in 3 pieces and then tape it together to get this. Our printer will make something that big. So you see, I have it traced on this. This is a gray canvas board. We didn't do an underpainting on it particularly, but you would just probably do a light gray underpainting. Okay. And if somebody wants to know what kind of boards these are the Proton by Creative Mark. These are Jerry's Artorama ones. I don't know if you can get them on Amazon. You sure can get them on Jerry's Artorama. Okay, and they're not just cheap cardboard stuff. They're on real board, and they're very well made. They're very professionally nice canvas boards. So I've done a Posca pen on this to sort of so you can see where the main things are going to be in the picture. We'll put the bicycle on last. We'll trace that on after everything else is done. Well, one thing I wanted to bring your attention is that I want you to look at the black and white, and I want you to notice where are the highlights. You see the whitest white. Here's my paper towel. The whitest white is down here in the reflections. a little bit here in the stuff, but not up here. This is not, it's white. You can see even in the picture, this is white, but it's not as bright as this. This is our brightest color. And the reason this shows up more white is that we use a different white nose, that contrast shows it up. In the picture, this white is next to a very, very pale faded green awning, or rather a red awning. So the contrast isn't so much, so it doesn't look bad. But if you were to put this white against something very, very black, like this, that white would suddenly look brighter. Do you see that? And the reason it would look brighter is because that is the contrast. So a lot of times, the value of a color will often appear to the eye depending on what it's next to. And you'll notice we have some light coming down here around the awning, but when we look at the picture, it's not as bright as here. Okay? So those are just some things to keep in mind when you're painting. Put this back over here. We usually don't do a painting anywhere near this big on YouTube. John got carried away today. I don't know.
I wanted it big.
He wanted it big, so you get it big. So that's all right.
I get what I want.
He wanted it big, and so by golly, he wanted it big. So one of the things you're going to want to have for this is tape, and use it judiciously. All right, that would be the way I would describe it. Use the tape judiciously. For now, we were just going to talk about the colors, which are titanium white, cad yellow, medium yellow ochre, cadmium orange. If you don't have that, red and yellow make an orange. Pyro red or naphtha crimson would work. Cad red light, magenta, Payne's gray, which is Mars black, and ultramarine blue red shade. This is ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, burnt umber, and burnt sienna. Those are the main colors that we have. And I'm not putting out any green because we'll make that green using yellow and Payne's gray. Okay, that's how we'll make that green, and we'll make this brighter green using yellow and phthalo blue. So that's how we'll make that. So we're going to take one of our fabulous smudges. Did you ever bring back my?
Yeah, they're all in the cup in the ceramic mug there.
Oh, you put them in this one?
Well, it's the only thing that was available at the time.
Okay, so all right. So here's a nice big brush,
So
and we're going to start with gray. We're going to start around doing the building. So I'm going to get a palette knife here, and I want some white. Okay, because it's going to be pretty light gray, right? And a little bit of Payne's gray like that. We'll start here in the corner, and then come this way. Okay. All right, we're going to kind of say that's kind of the color I want. And I'm going to put a little tiny bit of yellow ochre in it. Okay, that's going to warm that gray up. Do you see that? See what it did? Okay. So that's the color I want. I'll probably have to mix more, but I'm going to just going to take my brush here and my smudgy brush, and I'm going to come on down here like this, and I'm just going to paint a layer of gray. All right, and because it's also different, I don't have to. Here's some. All right, let's just quit fooling around here. When we have white out, let's put a little bit of Payne's gray here, and a little bit of that yellow ochre here. All right, so I want some different colors in this. I don't want it all the same color. This isn't. I'm just going to go around this light like that. And this is just our first layer, almost like this is our underpainting color. So we can add more colors later, but we can just do this for now. This is fairly straightforward and fast. There's no water on this. But I do have to keep getting paint. I'm going to come down around here like that. So one window. A little lighter over in this area. A little bit of yellow ochre in this gray. And as I look at our reference, it gets kind of in the grays, but we have to put something. So we're just going to start with this in layer, okay? Pushing pretty hard. I remember I had an art agent one time named Cadriana, and everybody in her planet was named Aka something. And she was you may have heard this story, she was a walk-in into the body of another person. She came from another planet. She had walked into this person's body and was now living their life. And anyway, she was really fun. She was my agent. She was always asking for street scenes. So I want more street scenes. Everybody wants them. And they're very street scenes are always kind of, they just, they remind people of trips they've been. Street scenes are popular. And she would show me pictures of different street scenes that had been popular, and say, paint me something like this. And that's the thing. She says, I want you to do that really pretty blue like you did last time. And I just go, yeah, uh-huh.
Not
What
a
would
problem.
that be? John will tell you, I did so many paintings for her. John will absolutely tell you that I don't remember one painting from the next. Never have. Once I've done, it's gone. It's out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, right?
We've moved on to the next one.
We've moved on to the next one. Every once in a while, someone will post something up on our Facebook club, and I'll say, What was that tutorial? I don't remember that. You sure we did that one? Sure that was mine? Not because they didn't paint it well. It's just I honestly can't remember the picture. So anyway, she would sit there and she would do that. So finally, I went and got her a ring of, like you paint chip things at the paint store, that ring thing. I got her that, and I said, give me the number of the color you're thinking of.
That's a smart way to do it.
Because nobody sees the paint the same. I remember I had a guy I'd hired named Gerald, and his job was to work my giclée machine. When I don't have it anymore, but I had a giclée machine, and it's all technical computer stuff. I didn't know anything about it, so I just hired it out, right? And I remember one day Gerald was doing something, and I said, the yellow's not right, and his snotty comment was, well, it's your machine, right? Like this was nothing to do with him or his adjuster, the calibration, okay? It's just your machine, okay? Now I'm going to make this a little darker down in here. I'm just going to go into the Payne's Gray, and I'm going to make this pretty dark down here. We'll lighten it up, but oh, I put some magenta in that. Look at that. That was pretty. I guess I'll have to put some blue now. I'm going to make that interesting. Magenta. Really change that. Okay. But I want this dark. That's the secret about making streets that have reflections, is you start with a very dark street. Did you know that? That's one of the little tricks. So anyway, so I'm sitting there, and so I got out that when you get a machine like that or a printer, they give you a test sheet, and it shows you what colors it can make when it's brand new and it's not out of ink and all that stuff, right? So we were looking, and I'm saying, see, that's the yellow the machine makes, and this is what you make. And he says, it's the same thing. And that's when I realized I'd hired someone that was partially colorblind to run my clay machine.
So smart.
He could see black and white.
Well, yeah, but you're doing color.
Oh, but I'm doing color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minor detail.
So there's not a lot. You can see where I've done this. There's not a lot, but this is like the layer 1. So we've got to dry this, and then do layer 2s and 3s. Yes and yes.
And 4 and 5 and 6 and 7.
4s and 5s, right? So let's dry that. All right. So then I'm going to rinse this brush off because I got a little bit of purpley blue color, and it doesn't matter. This will all be. I just needed something dark here. So I'm going to rinse that off, and I'm going to take my smudgy like this, and then we're going to start again, and I'm going to try to do a little bit more. All the brush strokes are kind of going down, but I want to get this sort of And put some yellow ochre and white and a little bit of Payne's gray. Okay, that's a pretty good color here. And I'll put some of that color on here like that. See how this is? There's some of this color in here. A little bit of burnt sienna and yellow ochre. And that's going to take a little yellow. Okay, try some Payne's gray. And a little white. Okay, so that's a little bit darker. I need a little more black in it. There you go. Something I needed something a little deeper than what I had, like on here. This was not quite dark enough. Then I'll put a little more white in it, and we've got some of this color coming up in here like this. And then if I add some more white to it, as we get over toward the center, it's a little bit lighter. Over in here, it's let's put some burnt umber in that, kind of gray it out too. Raw umber would have been good. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of the Payne's gray and white and make a light gray color. Well, it's a dark gray color. Let's make it lighter. And just kind of follow the pattern here. You know, don't forget to, you can overlap, it's all right. Bring that down. I'm out of white paint. But you don't want the background too busy, but on the other hand, you want it kind of, it's a rainy day and you're kind of creating that by these colors. And kind of light around this guy. Something kind of light around here. And if you painted this background 50 times, you'd just it would be different each time. So get the feel of this, you know, try to get the feel of that. Get this just blended in pretty nice. The brush strokes are going down. And some things are a little bit darker, like for instance, under this window, there's a little darker gray coming around here like that. It's a little bit darker under this, and then where those plants are going to be, it's kind of darker. Got my fingers in the blue paint. Adjust that door right there for now. Let's go back to that. Come back to this window too. Something a little darker in this corner. I've got something really nice and dark under here. And just wipe the brush off and get a little bit of burnt kind of raw sienna. And I realize that it's kind of, from what I'm doing, it's probably hard to even see because it all kind of looks the same. So, you just kind of, I'm showing you kind of how you do this, but you've got to start at the top too, off the canvas and come down, lift up. Like that. And again, we got something a little bit over here. It's wider. It's just pretty lighter over here. That's what those plants are. And it's just a little bit lighter here. I think white would have been good too. You have that to see how we're just layering these colors in as we go. And there's some more, there's that dark area, and then there's this light. There's some pretty good light area right in here by the bicycle. So I'm doing all that with the wide brush. I'm going to change brushes and use a smaller one. And
still keeping with the smudgies, though.
I'll still doing it with the smudgies, right? But I want to do a smaller one here. I want some smaller lines going in here like that. Very lightly, just suggesting this. And something light right here on this edge of this this area right here, like this. Put a burnt umber with that Payne's gray. A little ultramarine blue in that. That's phthalo.
You say that'd be the other blue.
Yeah, that's kind of the wrong thing. Here we go. There you go. These colors right here, like that. So I can keep a very thin light edge by making it fat first. Okay. And I got the inside of this right on this side of the, right in here. Here's this panel here. But this is where some lines are, so we're kind of being kind of aware of that. So it's a little bit lighter there. Sometimes you can say, what can you do with the smudgy? You know what I mean? What else can you put that smudgy? I've got something a little darker in here. Ultramarine blue and Payne's gray. A little bit of burnt umber. Tap it off here. I got something kind of dark right here. This is where the layering comes in, you guys. And here's something darker down in here. I didn't want that blue color. Let's start with this black color. Generally speaking, when you're talking about buildings and stuff, the water splashes up and stains something on the bottom. That's usually what you're seeing. A little bit of yellow oxide. Very light touch here to get that to happen. Then on the inside of this, I'm going to just say some burnt sienna and yellow ochre on the inside of this wall right there for just now. I'm just going to mark it. Still have to come back in and add a layer to it, but that's where we're putting it, what we're putting right there. And it's got some gray on it. Maybe we can do some gray. Well, not till that dries. We can't do that. What else could we do? That was burnt sienna and a little cad red medium. I can just probably do this pot. It's amazing what you can do with one of these brushes and still get it pretty accurate, isn't it? Kind of. It's kind of this color in here.
I think it's a great brush.
Well, it is a great brush, John. It just, I mean, for as much as you can get done with it, right? It's really, I think it's pretty impressive. So I'm going to take some yellow and put that in the inside of this. Here, like that. Inside the door. Some of that yellow around here too. Around that guy. Okay, so kind of doing that. And honestly, it doesn't look like anything. That's the fun thing about something like this. It doesn't look like anything till the very end. That's and when you're painting something like this, you get to this point and think, I can't paint it all. Why am I bothering? And if you don't know, it's like building a house. If you don't know what it's supposed to look like, then you can't, in the building stages, you're kind of screwed because you got to know what it looks like in the building stages. I want that lighter by that house. Then I'll come around on this side of this and just make that little line disappear. There, now I've got a little light edge. See that? Clever, huh? So again, I'm trying to I'm going to get another, I'm going to take a smaller smudgy now. Just what can you do with a smudgy? So I'm going to take some of the Payne's Gray and burnt umber. I'm going to say that this is
Really dark.
That's really dark in here. So it's burnt umber and a little bit of Payne's Gray. That's Okay, and then I'm going to take some burnt sienna and orange and come around this side. This side. It's a little darker than what I have here, but again, we're just sort of doing the underpainting. This gets dark up again against this window. This is dark in here. And then it's really dark in here. This is really dark in here. A little cadmium orange on the brush and do this. This just allows a little bit of an underpainting to happen. Something's very dark underneath this, on this part of the window here. The glass goes under the awning and actually comes all the way up to the awning. It doesn't in the traceable, but it does in the picture. Comes all the way up to the awning. So that's kind of what so that's what you got to go by here. A little bit of burnt umber. It's all dark up in here. And it's even dark right here above that lantern. It's a little bit shadow here like that. Okay. And I'm going to take some light gray Just going to make a little light gray color here, and I'm going to say there's the sidewalk. Okay, so I've kind of roughed this in a little bit, not as much as it should be. Just a little bit of the yellow. Ooh, too much paint on that. But you can grab some paint with that little brush. I want that. I want that a little bit of white with that. More a little bit of glow around that lantern. There's a little of that ochre brown color up in here, like that. Some of this color over here, like this. It's acrylic dry darker, so it all sort of blends in. So when you're talking about doing something like this, it's interesting because there's so many different colors, and that you could do in grays and stuff. And okay, here's sort of a blue gray, kind of like that. This is a kind of a blue gray right back in here, like that. And then I want something else, a little bit like that. I want that a little bit more blue gray. Okay, I'll put a little phthalo in it. There you go. I want a little bit of a blue gray color right here. All right, with me? So it's coming together. I know that it's hard to, it's hard to see, but it's coming together. Okay, like that. Now, while this is drying, we're going to do the reflections in the street. I haven't done any of the details yet. We're just roughing it in and
you're blocking in your colors.
Blocking it in. So, all right. So we know we've got some light gray in here, right? So this light blue gray color. Let's get rid of this. We're not going off of that anymore. We're only going off of this, okay? So I've got some different values of light gray coming down in here like this into my picture. Right, put a little bit of brown in this. That would be the burnt sienna. It's kind of down in here in the grays. Let's go back to some more light grays. It's a little bit light, so let's everything's kind of going up and down like this. Let's go for some light. Now we're going to kind of go across this way. Change directions of the gray. All right, so that's layer one. Okay. On this, that's absolutely layer one. We don't even need anything there. Okay. We got more to put on there, but that's a good layer.
It's your starting point.
That's my starting point, right? A little yellow ochre. Okay. All right. So let's give everything a big dry.
You've got the brushes, you've got the dream, but something feels off on that canvas scene. It's not your talent, It's not your heart. You just need a guide to help you start. It ain't about painting just like me. It's about painting like who you're meant to be. You can paint alone in the quiet night, wonder why it don't feel quite right. A second set of eyes can change the view. Personal art coaching, yeah, that's the truth. Stop guessing, start growing, because great artists don't grow alone.
All right, now we're going to turn it upside down. We're going to turn this.
Which is a lot easier than standing on your head.
Yeah, we're going to turn it all upside down. We're going to just paint this section in here. All right, you with me? So that means a little angle brush.
Probably 3/8.
Yeah, 3/8 angle. Okay, that's not the sharpest one I've got. See, that's separated. That's an old one. I have newer ones. Here we go. See how sharp the edge is on that one?
Is that 3/8?
Well, this is 1/2. Okay.
Huh.
So now I'm going to I'm just going to come on up here like this. Pull some paint up like this, right along the edge of the awning. Make that a little grayer. Cutting in around that lantern. I want kind of a blue-gray. So let's this, I might have a little water on the brush, or I didn't on the smudgy. Move this over kind of like this, so you can see what I'm trying to paint. Because I'm just doing this section right here, right? So we got some white, ultramarine blue. A little bit darker gray up in here. And now we're going to try something. If we can get away from taping, if I can use a straight edge. I think I had a straight edge credit card somewhere. An old
You got one?
No, an old card from like cruising or something.
You got a few thousand of them, so give me a second to get you one or two.
I just had white on the brush, so I'm Make another light gray color. We'll just straighten this line out here.
These are some oldie goldies. Diamond numbers.
Oh, okay. These are some old room cards. Okay, so I want something dark right here. See, nice sharp edge right there. Then this other edge is not, it's just sort of there. Well, I've got a window right here too. Okay. And then I got something dark. It's still wet, but I think I can do it, right? Just going to tip it up and hold it. Then this is straight up and down like this. It comes around here. That's straight. So there's a couple of lines that have to be kind of sharp, and that's one of them. Put a little bit of brown in that. The burnt sienna. Then rinse the brush. Then we go a little bit of kind of gold in here, kind of that raw sienna. Take a little bit of yellow and orange, cat orange and yellow. Come in here like this. So when we put that lantern in, it should go pretty well. Okay, so take a black Posca pen. As long as we're here, right? I mean, you see it, we're here, okay? I want to just smooth this out a bit. That's a little bit of a lumpy color here. Let's just kind of smooth that out. Okay. Now, so we've got if you do it upside down, it's a lot easier. Make sure the paint is dry before you do this.
I imagine if you don't have a Posca pen, you could use a liner brush with black paint.
Something like that, absolutely.
You don't have to go run out and buy a Posca pen.
Well,
you should have one by now.
everybody should have a Posca pen. They're
Well,
just
they
really,
should.
you should have one. If you don't have one, this is what you do, right? But you can see where I'm going.
But just in case.
Just take a small detail brush here. I'm going to paint in some brown right here because this light is not on right now. And I'll take some white, kind of an off white, kind of a light gray color for in here. And we're going to just come up here like this. Now we'll take you can go over you can take a little paintbrush in a couple places and go over your outline. But there's our lantern. So that's that one. Okay. Everybody's happy about that, yeah? Now let's just dry this as a save as, yes? All right, so using the same brush, but I'm going to make sure I've cleaned it because I had black on it, okay? I'm going to take some white paint and just a little bit of the Payne's gray. It's kind of a very light gray, okay? I'm going to paint in this awning. Now you have to have paint for this. If you have watered down paint, this won't work. You know, some of you are buying, if you've invested in anything besides my lessons this year, I sincerely hope you will invest in some good quality paint. Particularly, I would say get the golden white, titanium white, because if you're using a bad white, then it doesn't matter what else you do. You get away with some cheap colors, but if you don't have good white, it's just you'll waste more money and time trying to make it white than you would if you just didn't do anything. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of raw umber with that, or burnt umber with that in the Payne's gray. Okay, and here's our awning. Just gonna. Now I don't have enough paint, so nothing's covering. See that? If you don't have paint, nothing works. Can't say that enough, right? So that's a sort of off gray color. Okay, so use the brush like that, sort of chip it like that. There, okay. So you see how beautifully that painted in, didn't you? Now, let's come back over here with the yellow and white. And let's do this guy here.
And the reason for painting upside down?
I can reach it because I don't want to reach over my head, and I can see the shape better.
Okay.
That would be the main reasons for painting upside down.
But the other reasons, so you're not really focused on what it is?
Yeah, you're just not, yeah, that's absolutely, you're not focused on what it is, and so it's a lot easier to paint. Does that make sense?
Like that guy we met in Bermuda?
Yeah, that lady that went to Bermuda, she paints all the paintings for the America's Cup, okay?
The sailboat guys.
The sailboat guys. And she, this is yellow and cad yellow. This is cad yellow medium and cad yellow orange.
She paints everything upside down.
All of it. She has it all upside down. She just does, and you get very accurate that way because you're not painting things. You're just painting shapes. So there's a little bit of the umber here, or the yellow ochre here on this. The little Payne's gray.
We froze. I can't
Really?
believe it.
Really?
Yep. Put in a holding pattern.
I'll give it a good dry.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I've dried it. Okay. Then I'm going to take my black Posca pen and the picture of this lantern is slightly different, but I'm trying to keep them enough similar where it doesn't get too crazy. This is very impressionistic. Okay, it's not meant to be, we're not trying for realism here, you guys. So let's try taking some Payne's gray, painting this up in here like that. And then there's take a little bit of more blue with that on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me a little bit thicker line then in some places. Okay. So I'm going to go over the line anyway with the brush, but the Payne's gray just kind of, the Posca pen just kind of helps you, cement it in there. Okay. And you'll notice I've got some colors in here now. I want a little phthalo blue and white. Okay, and a little bit of yellow in it. That's sort of a teal color. I want some teal right in here like that. That's the complement of orange, and it needs to be there. Then we've got something pretty dark down in this corner. Okay. And I've got a little bit of cad red here. Flatten it out on your brush. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the darker color and give it another coat up here like this. Just kind of drag it over there like this. And we've got a little bit of that orange color in here like this. And we got a little bit of that yellow color. See how that big glob of paint I got on there? So what you have to do is wipe off. You got to remember to wipe off. So this is some light that's coming right next to here on here.
That could have been disastrous with that much yellow.
Well, it could have been, but that's not what we're doing. So we're going to just burn umber. This is darker right here. Then it goes into the blues and grays down in here. Okay. Put some black Payne's gray with that. See, as we keep layering in the door, and it goes down to yellow ochre again. And then this goes down into light gray. Then we've got a dark line. There, now I'm reaching over my head, so now I'll flip it around and see what we just put in. Isn't that interesting? Now, that's not to say that we don't have more to do. Of course we do, but we've got some very good start on this. Now, how long have we been at this video, John?
54.
All right, so we accomplished a lot in an hour. This video is going to be about an hour and a half. It's going to take that.
Well, it's typically with our state.
But
we lose a lot of you guys after 90 minutes or after 75, an hour to 75, but there's just too much information we want to share.
Well, we can't do it. I can't do anything like that for less. And so
we hope you come back and watch it again. And again.
Yeah.
And watch it again. And watch it some more. And share it with your friends.
Then I just kind of wipe the brush and come in here like this. It's just kind of wet on wet painting. Okay. A little bit of cad red. Over the store. And this needs to be a bit brighter. Remember how I put that on there and it just kind of disappeared? Put that again. A little yellow. Makes a little bit cadmium color. So we're just implying that there's light inside the building by doing this. Put some of that in this color too, like that. Okay, so we've got good, still doing that. Okay, so I've got this. I need something darker under this lantern. And there's something dark down here. And a little bit too much paint there, but it goes right to the pot. You guys are seeing how this is kind of we're getting that, right? Yeah, I've got a little bit of white. My brush is dirty, so I'm going into the white paint, but I'm just saying that this is whiter or here around this, up in here like this, like that. This is white here, and this is our, just kind of drag these layers of color on. I've got something whiter right like this. Okay. Keep these slants at an angle. Keep the lines at an angle to match this. You don't make them upside down. These are straight up and down, but these have to match. These lines have to match the sides. Okay. All right, to see how we just keep layering it in. A lot of people, they get kind of confused about what we mean about layering, but this is exactly what we mean about layering. See, this is what we mean as we start pulling this all together. And so we want a straight line up here like that. And then I'm going to go into the black here, and I'm going to say this is dark right under here and right like this. Then there's something dark under this yellow bit right there. See that? That's too wide, so I'll just make it a little, skinny it up. Okay. So the only line that I don't really like is this one, so I'll tape it.
That's a long one.
That's a long line, and I think that could be taped. So I will hold the brush up there like this and just do something like this. I want that straight up and down. And that's sort of a blue-gray color. Okay. Sometimes you have to have a straight line. Okay. Now we've got more. If we have a dark, we don't really have. We have a kind of a dark door here, and we've got some brown and orange color on this down in here like this. We're suggesting a door here, but that's it. I haven't really said much of anything about this door. This line here just gets washed away here. This straight line here just gets washed away. So we know we just don't talk about it. Okay. So now, then this has got to be a pretty good straight line here. Okay, so much there's only so much detail you can do in something like this, but we're kind of getting it, right? Well, I think this has to be a little bit lighter up in here. There, okay. This will be fun for you to interpret. I know you like the street scenes, and we've done a lot of them, but they're some of our most popular videos. So we're going to just paint the I'm going to paint another coat on the pot. And take a little bit of the cadmium orange and come around here like this and make the lip on that pot. And then I take a little bit of this black paint, come under here like that. This is the darker side. Now, the trick with this is it's a light gray under here, like this. Okay, there's a little dark line on the pot, right, like that. There's some dark gray. Okay. And then basically what you've got is an upside down pot. Okay. For this. Then take some, you got some dark on this side, right? Then you've got some other little colors here. And it's a little bit bright. Probably a little more black with that red. You don't want anything that bright on that, right? And you've got a little bit of blue color in here like that. But we'll play with that in a minute. But you're saying there's our pot for there, okay? And from straight down from the door, we've got some of these golden colors, the orange and the yellow. Right, straight down from the door, we've got some of these colors in here like that.
Well, in reflections now.
Yeah, we're going into the reflections in the street. Okay, it's not too wild. We didn't do too much of a wild thing here. We're going to take a little light gray, and on this side of the pot, we're just going to kind of wiggle this line so it's not so perfect. Got something light around the pot. Then we got some light gray around here. Okay. This is how you do reflections. It's a little bit of white, a little bit of phthalo blue, and a black. Got something, okay. Okay, let's get this mixed on the board here. White, phthalo blue, black, Payne's gray. Okay. Now it's got to be a lot whiter here like that. I'll mix that over here. That's the color I want right there. And I'm going to say that there's this white color on this street like that. And over here, I've got some of this white color. Over here like that. It's a little bit darker on this side. Now, even the street's at an angle, but you've got to have the reflections going kind of straight down. And this is where the bicycle's going to go. I'm going to put some more white in it. I've got some big white streaks coming across here like that. Now I know it's going this way, so you got to keep everything going parallel to the bottom of the canvas, and the temptation is just to follow the angle. So those of you who are just sort of kind of glancing at this video and say, I've got it, and don't watch it all the way through, and then you come back to me and say, what happened? It doesn't look right. A little ultramarine blue over here. Ultramarine blue, kind of on this one. It's just not as bright. So then we've got we can't do a lot because I haven't put the bicycle in, so we can't do too much, but we know we can put a little of this burnt sienna in here like that, going across. All right. See how we got that reflection in? So this is a good place to dry it because Well, I guess we could put the flowers in, and then we'll do it. Okay, and then we're going to put the bicycle in and the flowers, okay? And finish the awning. So let's see. We want some black and yellow.
Now, when you're saying black, you're
The
talking,
Payne's gray.
all right.
And we'll put a little orange in that. There you go. And little phthalo blue. Okay. And let's do some white. Okay, so we got that color, and then we've got something with a little yellow ochre, so another color with some more yellow ochre in it. Okay, like that. We got that green. And then we got that green. So it's just a vine, and we're just suggesting the vine is there, okay? So first off, we're going to start with the Payne's gray, and we're going to tap in this vine coming down here like this.
Kind of laying in the shadows.
Yeah, we're just putting in the shadows first, right? Now let's try it. Make sure we have enough white going next to it. We may have to go back and redo the white. And I would tell you that we have to go back and redo the white. This is not bright enough over here, but we have paint, so we know how to do that, right? Sometimes you have to do a second layer of paint. Maybe there's some light around this. Some light around this window. I think I'll just take a dry smudgy. Just gonna soften that edge a little bit. Run it out through here. And just some more of these colors in here like that, okay? I mean, I'm a stickler for all these color things, changes. All right, so we're saying that happened there, right? And I'm going to take this light green color and, well, it kind of dried out while we were making it. You wouldn't think it would have, but yeah, let's put a little light green color up in here like this. Then as we come down to the bottom, it's a little bit darker. Comes down over here in front of this door. A little bit more phthalo in it.
Looking pretty good.
Just using the corner of the brush like that. Then we'll come back over here and tap out some of this color, a little more yellow ochre in it. The darker greens on this side. And there's your plant. As easy as that, right? We didn't have to say much of anything, right? We're going to put some of this color down in here, okay? Always have to ask myself, where else can I put that color? What would be interesting to where else would we put it? I want some brighter yellow in this, okay? In this one too. There, okay. So now, while that's drying, I'm going to show you a trick with the tape. All right, so I'm going to tape this right there, right? I'm going to use my palette knife and I'm going to cut the tape. Then I'm going to do another one like that, straight up and down. Now let's just get it a little closer like that. We'll just do every other scoop. Now, I'm going to reverse, kind of did it backwards. I did it backwards.
What were you going to
Well,
do?
these are the red stripes, so I was doing the red
The
stripes.
reds are in the middle.
Reds are in the middle, so I got to redo it again. All right, never mind. We're going to do it again. Okay.
You were so close.
I'm going to take it all off and get whole new tapes and do it all over again because I'm confused now. Let's do it again, right? All right, new piece. Tape's cheap. New piece of tape. Okay. All right, let's start with the long piece of tape and do this. All right, we're going to say this is, we want this straight up and down. That's this one. Okay. And we got this one. Oh, it's just, you don't need that big a piece, right? We got this one. Keep these vertical. And we got this one. We got those. They're just not quite perfect, but they're close enough, right? Let's do, we're just doing the middle one, so yeah, okay. We're just going to do that. Now, you want to measure these better? Go ahead. I'm not doing it tonight. Just, this is what you get. I'm not measuring these any better.
I personally would get a protractor and
no, we're not doing it.
slide ruler and
Because we're just suggesting that there's some color on here. So we're going to take some white and orange and mix that over here.
It's a very faint color.
Let's just put a little.
It's faded from years of rain.
Yeah, okay. We're just going to suggest that color's in there. And some of that's a little bit heavier at the top here, like that. Like, for instance, right here, it might be a little darker up there at the top, but not on all of them. And maybe this one's a little bit oranger. Okay. So now, wait a minute. Make sure you overlap the tape. Okay. All right, so then we're going to take this tape right here and straighten out this edge here. Like that. I'll just and just kind of brush over these. All right. All right, so that's that part of the awning. Yes, yes. Now, turn it upside down. And we're going to use a white Posca pen. And we're going to draw the lines on. See, where's my triangle? On here somewhere. No, triangle. Well, okay, so we could use, they get more narrow when if you look at this, they get narrower as they go up. See, they're wide here, but then you're talking about something very narrow here. Because remember, you've got to follow this angle here of got to follow that angle of this, okay? So what we're going to do there is just do a small little, this is our 1/2 inch, right? This is our 3/8. We're going to take a little bit of the peach color, okay, that we barely see, and just suggest it at this angle, like that, coming up here like this. You don't want hard, it's mostly white, it's all faded. That looks too orange. Okay, so then I'm going to dry that and put some white over it.
Don't have time to paint a masterpiece like me, or sit through long tutorials while life keeps flushing by? Then Ginger Cook's Acrylic Art Lounge is exactly what you need. These are bite-sized, power-packed tutorials, all under 2 hours, perfect for lunch breaks, rainy afternoons, or hiding in an outhouse. I won't judge. You'll still get Ginger's expert teaching, her years of experience, and that encouraging voice that says, yes, you can paint that. No fluff, no stress, just fun, fast acrylic lessons that fit your life. The Acrylic Art Lounge. Painting made simple so you can master the craft, even if you're otherwise occupied.
Yeah, just a little bit low. Okay, so now I'm going to put some more white paint on here like that. Is this a tape? There's some tape that's left. A little corner of tape. And then I'm just going to kind of come across this like this and suggest that there's this, just kind of dry brush it. You're not really talking about the stripes at all. All right, good enough. All right, so there, very good. We've got see, now that looks like the rain's on them because, why? Because, okay. So there's our awning. Now it's time to trace on our bicycle. Yes and yes. So we've got the easiest way to do is take some scissors and just cut the bicycle out. So I'm going to say I need probably this much bicycle here. That's all of this I need. Now if I line this up to that and this up to that, okay, there's where the bicycle goes. Everybody agree with me on that? Yeah. Do you agree with that, John?
Yep, you did it perfectly.
All right, so now we need a little tiny piece of Sorel transfer paper.
What color do you think you're going to want to use? I'm thinking maybe red.
Maybe red, yeah. So we're going to tape it down here. Tape this like this, yeah. That's where our bicycle's going.
See what that'll do for you, ma'am.
Okay, that says up on it. Let's just stick it under here like that. Take a pen. We're going to have to push pretty hard. Okay. So let's
Well,
see.
you're on a board, so it'll be simple.
We're on a board, so it should be pretty good, right? Yeah, it's showing up. These wheels are very important.
Did you even look to see if it's doing anything?
Oh, I did.
Okay. You can see it? You can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Now I can barely see that. White might have been better in hindsight.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the right color to use at all.
Well, white didn't work very good in the beginning.
Well, so let's put my glasses on and retrace it.
Wait, before you do that, do you want to just wipe it off and try a white?
Yeah, I do, because I can't really see this.
I think it'd be a better choice.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit, just a cloth, and take some water and wash it off.
And we did have a white sheet. Did you keep that white sheet, that brand new white sheet that we had?
Yeah, I'll have to put it over there. All right, let me dry that so it'll work. Don't we have a little white sheet over there from the, no, we don't have white.
We had a brand new pack that here it is. No. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so let me tape this down again. Let's realign this again with the lantern to this one, right? Like this. Okay. Okay, that's better. I'm pushing very hard. Oh yeah.
Be a a better way to do it than to trace over all that.
Yeah, good suggestion, John. Okay. There we go. We've got a bicycle. Wow, that was something. Now, what we'll do now is take the black Posca pen. I'm going to use the pen to fill in the tires. The Posca pens are actually acrylic ink, acrylic paint. And they don't dry right away, so if you make a mistake, you can wipe it off with a damp rag and keep going. Some of this we're going to do with the brush, and the rest we're going to do with this, but I'm going to just do the tires while I can. And the pedal. All right, so I'm going to dry that because I like that. Oops. And somebody asked me, why don't we do bicycles? This is exactly the reason. Adding a bicycle takes another 30 minutes to the tutorial, which is why I don't like to do them. Probably the last bicycle I do for YouTube because it takes too long to do them. And like I say, people drop off at 30 minutes or whatever. And so we get a bad algorithm for putting this in. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Now here's some black, some dark paint. All right, now I'm gonna just let's see. Let's just do a little bit of yellow and brown. Put this saddle in here like that. A little bit of black underneath it.
Well, it does look good.
And then we're going to put some yellow ochre in the basket. Yeah, well, it looks good, but it just takes, it's not that I hate bicycles or anything. They just take a lot of time. But this is how you would put a bicycle on a painting, and then somehow on this side it's darker. It's just a darker shadow here, like that. Now, then we got a little bit of a dark line underneath the bicycle, under the basket too, like that. Okay, so now we're going to do the red. We're going to do the CAD red light. Put a little pyro red with that. Just don't get too complicated on it. Just this is a darker red. That's the pyro red right here. Let's see, a little bit of magenta and red here on this one. And I don't know the first thing about bicycles, so please do not bitch to me that that's not how they would go. Then put your own bicycle in. Right?
This is how mine is.
This is how mine is. If you've got a better bicycle, this is how you'd painted it. Trace your bicycle on, put it in. Please do not write me and say, the bicycle wouldn't have that extra line. I don't care.
Mine does.
Mine does.
And I like it.
So there. Okay. Now, this has got, the shadow's got to touch this. On the reflection. You don't put the whole wheel in the reflection, but you're saying that there's something there, right? Just the light of the tire on the inside here, like that. And this is pretty dark in here. This gets, this is a little smoky thing in here like this. We'll highlight on the front of the wheel here. Now we're doing this small enough where we're not trying to get too clever with it, okay? We're just suggesting the bicycle, right? Let's try that. Now you can write something up in this awning. I would suggest you, when you do that, you would, let me just put this in a little better now. If you're going to write something up in this awning, I suggest you, a little highlight on that, right? Suggest that you, let's see, we want something lighter down in here. Okay, so now we're going to do the flowers, all right? So that's the last phase of this is the flowers. And now let's take a look and see how dark this dried. So before we do anything else, we've got to finish see, remember I told you that this was the lightest part, remember? We talked about that in the very beginning.
I remember that.
So let's go back. A little bluer here. So this is one of those things where it doesn't hurt to go over this stuff again. We're way at the bottom of the canvas here, so just do something like that. Okay, all right. Yeah, we can put a little bit of the color under here now. There's a little bit of this orange red under here, like this. As we're saying, some of this is from the flowers. Haven't actually put any flowers in, but we're saying that's what that's from. I'm in these colors. Some of it's lighter than others. Now I've got some of this color coming down here like that. This is why you do layers.
You build it up.
Because you can't get it in all one fell swoop, as they say. All right, so to do the flowers, I'm not going to do, we're going to do impressionistic flowers. So, I guess we'll start with the green. Phthalo blue and yellow. Let's make some green. Okay. All right, so that's a pretty nice dark green. Let's put a little red with it. Okay, to darken that up a little bit. Okay. We're going to start using the corner of our brush. Make sure we've really mixed the green. We're going to come up here and tap in some leaves. We're going to get some more yellow. And some white. We're going to say here's some lighter leaves using just the corner of the brush up in here like that. Okay, so far so good. Now let's do the same thing over here. Let's put them all in same way. So we're starting with the dark green. So ultramarine blue in there, okay. And then we're going to start with the lighter green on top. Put some of that. I'm going to put some of that in there too. Some dark. Okay. Now these are different greens than those. Now, because red, okay, let's talk about this, because red and purple, red and green are complements. If you put red over wet green, you will have mud. So you have to dry the green. Now, I think we need a few little highlights on the basket. So let's put those in. The paintbrush has been sitting in water, so you really got to get the water out or you're going to get nowhere. It's kind of lighter in the back here too. Okay. It's got a little bit of a reddish, darker reddish brown under here where the flowers go. Okay, so there's our basket. It doesn't hurt to put it in while you're thinking about it, right? And what else do I see when I'm looking at that? I see a little white right here on this. Oh, shoot. See a little bit of white right here on this part of the bicycle. I can do a little more detail on here now. Okay, so I think the first colors I want to put are the white and phthalo blue. It's kind of a bright blue. Start with some blue flowers in here. It's a little bit of a darker blue as part of it. Take some ultramarine blue. A little shadow color. Some of that. Let's see, what are they? There's some blue flowers over here. Let's put those. Yeah, let's add some white to that. Let's say on the edges, all right? Let's do a few little blue flowers down here on the, okay. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to dry that. Next, I'm really rinsing my brush because I've had blue on it, okay? I'm going to do white flowers because I want red ones. And red only paints over white. And the yellow too only paints over white. So let's go back and put our white flowers in that are eventually going to be red or yellow. Or white. Maybe they'll just be white. Okay. So this one's, we got some nice, you have to dry this or you're going to end up with just weird colored flowers. Don't lose this step. Notice I'm not trying to draw every petal. I'm just tapping it. It's a flower shape. Well, I don't have to have every flower in here, but even if some are going to be red and white, okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, what do we do there? We dry it. All right, so I'm going to go into the yellow now and add the yellow flowers. So I want some, I probably would like some cad yellow light, but you can put a little bit of, that would have been good too, some cad yellow light. But you can put a little bit of yellow oxide too. We've got a few over here too, so just some yellow flowers. I've got kind of an orange flower over here. Got a little bit of yellow in it. I've got some of that orange over here too. And just some cad red. Now we're going to go into some pyro red. Maybe over in here, we'll say some of these are red. Okay. Then back onto this one, we've got this one's kind of a red flower. Put a little magenta with it, not so bright. Over here, we just got the 3 red flowers here. Gonna put another coat of red on our bicycle. Then I want to take some white and magenta. Okay. and make some little tiny bit of ultramarine blue and make some purple flowers, kind of a blue purple flower, right? More white in it. There are any in this other one, but it's okay. Make it darker purple. Set with a little contrast too. You can't just have one color. Got to have a little contrast with this. Okay, so now we'll dry that and then see what shows up. All right, so we've got. I want to do some greens. Put a few little green back that we've lost. And I want some blue flowers. Remember, you got a light blue and a dark blue for your flowers. Okay. Now we're a little top heavy here. Do you see the pyramid we've got here? We need a few more flowers here. I want to round that off so it's not so top heavy. A little red in that. Now, I don't want that much red here. Now, here's how you fix this. I couldn't have a pyramid, so I'm going to dry that and put a little green over it. Okay? I'm going to do something else. I'm going to take a little bit of white and gray, and I'm going to paint this one out. Okay? Then let's take a little bit of green. In other words, you're not stuck with anything. You can say this is a little yellow flower up here then. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to give a second coat to your yellow flowers. The very good thing to do is to give a second coat of paint to some of these. Let's take a little bit of this. Just going over this bicycle with a little more red. It's a cad red light. So now we've got, I think we're doing pretty well with that. Maybe we would put to um, a little more contrast in these flowers. But I think overall, That's probably what I want to do here. And then I'm going to say there's a door handle. Kind of right above this door right here like that. There's a door handle right there. And about out of colors now. So, but I still need some blue in this door. Something a little brighter in that door. Here, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have John put this in a frame in a minute, and maybe at the very when I do the intro in the video, I will have changed this a bit. Your job is to see what I did because I'm not going to paint any more on this. For you know, I've pretty much explained how we would paint this. I'll put this in a frame, do a couple more things, and then your job. You know, you want to go up to the very beginning of the video where we introduce this because it'll be painted. All right. And your job is to see what did I do different? If anything, maybe I won't do anything different, but I think I will. So watch the beginning again. And in the meantime, I'll dry this. We'll put it in a frame, and I will finish off the final details for a minute. Okay.
Okay,
All
you're
right. So
back on.
back on. So now I want to suggest the bicycle wheels with you want to just do a few of these. And then you've got some lines coming across like this. And these got to be parallel to the top and bottom of the canvas. You guys, you got to have a few lines like this, a few lines over like this, something dark over in here. This is at this angle. See how that's going that way? Then it's all going this way. And we don't want that dark over here on this. Don't want to have a big black door here, so because we're suggesting it's there, right? And this is where you can kind of come in and okay, that kind of stuff. And like I say, there may be something we want to do like that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sign this. I'll go ahead and spend probably another few minutes just seeing what I could do to this, and you'll see it at the beginning, at the introduction. But I want to thank everybody. This was a pretty intense lesson, I think, and I want to thank everybody for hanging out there with us. I'll be very curious to see what you're going to write on this sign. I think in the comments below. Don't forget that we're giving away a free original painting of mine, and I've been writing down people who've written the names of people who have written significant comments on our videos from January to when, John?
End of February.
And then the end of February, the next 2 months, and we've just been I'm writing down names, and then we will draw your names out of a hat, and one of you will have a chance to win an original painting. So I think
Now, if this shows after February, it'll go into the next quarter of the scholarship funds.
yes,
And we do it at the same time that we do the quarterly drawing for the scholarship.
we won't, we may, so if this show airs after, it'll be the next time.
The next quarter.
It'll be the next quarter. Whenever you see this, because I don't know when we're going to air it, that's when it will be. So I don't want to give a date to that. So just, make sure that you're, when you write us, more than, hey, it was great, or whatever, we appreciate that very much. And where did I put that black Posca pen? Oh, it fell on the floor. That really makes a difference to me. And, we listen to you. I read those comments. I read every one. We don't have an AI or something writing it for you. We read every one. And your views matter. We change whole things. When people write us letters, we've been known to change entire things of
Whole
what we
things
do
included.
based on a letter somebody wrote us. True, John?
What?
We've been known to do that. Have you noticed
Oh,
that?
absolutely. We listen to you guys. We react to what you're saying. If you have a comment, criticism, email us.
Mm-hmm.
Suggestions.
Because we want to know. So thanks very much for subscribing to the channel, for hanging out with us in the live chat, for watching us later. And if you're going to be painting this, love to have you share it in our Facebook club. Everybody wants to see how you do that. And again, I'm very anxious to see what you decide to do on what you decide to write on the awning.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time around. Don't forget to study what she does to this to see what changes you may want to make. Bye, everyone.
Bye.